Hello and welcome back to the number one worstest podcast on the internet.
Ooh, spicing it up there with the bad English. I like
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. This, of course, is the Fourth One podcast. I am Micaiah. That is Simeon. And we, of course, are coming to you live from Leaditz, Pennsylvania, the town that is known for what they base Gotham City after.
Very accurate. I've seen a black figure just on the rooftops just moving around when I drive up there all the time.
Instead of Batman, it is a homeless man that is off his meds, and so he kind of just runs around in underwear and a black blanket tied around his neck. Yep.
That checks out. So it looks more like Captain Underwear.
Yeah, Captain Underpants.
Captain Underpants.
Yep. It looks more like Captain Underpants in black. And he doesn't really save people from muggings. He more does the muggings.
I see. Okay. That works out.
Yeah.
You want to hear a joke?
Yeah, I want to hear a joke.
What's Rob Gronkowski's favorite day of the year?
June 9th. Touchdown!
I'm not explaining that to anybody who doesn't get it. Moving on.
Moving on, indeed. One has to go. Bacon, tacos, donuts, or sushi?
Sushi. Don't even get it out. I don't like sushi. I'm not a sushi person.
All right. Well, you're wrong because the answer is bacon. First of all, everyone comment down below which one goes. Bacon, tacos, donuts, or sushi? Let us know.
DM Micaiah. Either one. But comment down below. Go to our YouTube page. Comment down below. But the answer is sushi.
The answer is bacon.
But okay, because sushi is more like a meal with tacos. So it's really between donuts and bacon. And in that case, I would go bacon. Donuts. Sorry. I like bacon too much.
Yeah, what?
You can't put
Which one will kill you faster, donuts or bacon?
Donuts.
Bacon.
No, don't.
Hands down, it's bacon. Whoa,
bacon has more fat in it and therefore more cholesterol. Well, not therefore more cholesterol, but more cholesterol. Donuts is fried in fat. It's basically all fat. You render out the fat in bacon if you're eating it correctly. And it's
bacon.
Just, okay.
Bacon is just pure grease right to the arteries of the heart, just clogging them. I'm just absolutely clogging them.
Yeah. Okay. We've off to a great start. I'm hungry now. Let's just put it that way.
We have a great show for you. Not quite as packed as last week, but that's all right. So to come on the show today, tennis balls and steroids, they're very similar. No one cares that the NFL schedule has been released. And we're going to preview the NBA play-in tournament, which I'm actually kind of looking forward to. Yes, that is coming up on the 18th, which I believe is a Tuesday. Next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
No one cares!
All right. All right. Oh, well, I want to start with this. Mark Emmerich, who is probably known as... Well, so if Roger Goodell is known as Thanos, right? We made that comparison last week. Yeah. Mark Emmerich would be whatever big bad guy Marvel's cooking up for the next Avengers to fight.
He's you know how there's a guy who's just so good that he's scary? Like Thanos, he's purple. He's a purple thumb, so he's not that scary. You know, like Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor is now scary for two different reasons, but he was kind of scary, like to begin with. And I get that I was watching him at a younger age, but he was kind of scary because of how accurate it is and how he portrayed them. Yeah, that's kind of how Mark Emmerich
Emmerich is kind of like Davy Jones. Oh yeah,
Emmert.
Well, he doesn't. He's so bad at his job, he doesn't deserve me to actually give him the correct pronunciation of his last name. He's like Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's a good comparison.
Thank you. Thank you. So Mark Emmerich. So let me start with this. The NCAA is pushing for players to be able to benefit off of their name, image, and likeness. Basically, is they can go. College athletes now can go to a autographing session and make money, get paid for that. They can get paid for their jersey sales. They can get paid for appearance in video games. They can get signed shoe deals. They can do car commercials, stuff like that, right? That all makes sense to everyone, right? So the NCAA, right now it's in the Supreme Court. And as soon as that ruling comes down, which is expected to allow college athletes to do it, then the NCAA has to pass it. And it's called the Name, Image, and Likeness Action ruling. Mark Emmert.
NIL for short.
NIL.
Just like the amount of money that players will see.
I don't think that's true, but sure. NIL for short.
Okay.
He is pushing for NIL action before or near July 1st, which that is when the Supreme Court ruling is supposed to come down. Now, 5 states that currently host college campuses have already put into effect that players are allowed to benefit off of name, image, and likeness, California being one of them. Yes?
I knew they were going to be one of them. I was going to try to guess them. Is it California, Oregon, Washington? Are those 3 of the 5? I think...
I have no idea, but that probably.
It's actually... The dates concede with when the new laws... I'm looking at the article that you have here.
Yep.
With the new laws in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, and New Mexico. So 3 of the SEC, basically, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, but
I
that
would
makes
think
sense
they're the ones who wouldn't want it the most.
Well, no, because they still... The only way they're going to continue getting all of the top talent in the SEC is if they're the first ones to be able to do this. So anyway, Mark Emmert is basically putting out there that as soon as these rulings come down, that is basically is going to be in favor of the NIL law.
Yeah.
That he wants an emergency vote as soon as that comes down to be able to pass this through so that this can be a thing so that college athletes can go. So I just want to give this is a scenario where sometimes bad people can do good things or bad bosses can do good things, because he's not a bad person. Well, I don't know if he's a bad person, but he's bad at his job.
Eat young children? We don't know.
He could eat young children, yes, but I don't think so. But this is one of the cases where a person who's bad at their job can finally does something good. So good job, Mark Emmert. I'm gonna be the only one to clap there. Excellent.
No one cares.
All right.
I know you. Okay, hold up. I will give you some pushback. Not really pushback. I will give you some Anyway, yeah, you did good. You've been pushing for the NIL action for players since NCAA 14, 2015, basically.
I've been pushing it since I've been in college football.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good on them. There are, I don't see a really negative side effect. Kids can go make money elsewhere. Doctors, when you're in residency, you get paid. So, come on, man. Pay the players. Makes sense. You have the money too. We know that.
You don't have to directly pay the players.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Allow the NLT, and he's doing the right thing. He's gotten a lot of flack in the past for all the money that the NCAA tournament has made, and even John Oliver did a couple things. The amount of money that Michigan brings in alone, and they suck. It's good. Good for him. Good for him. Good job, Micaiah. Sorry. Good job here.
It became personal with me.
Oh, that one I didn't fix. Sorry.
Oh, and Simeon still sucks at his job.
Simeon still sucks at his job, everybody.
Did you see what Russell Westbrook did?
No, I didn't. What did he do besides ball straight up?
Yeah, well, he did just that 181 times. Russell Westbrook this week broke the most triple doubles for an NBA career that Oscar Robertson had previously set. It had stood for 40 years, and Oscar Robertson had 181 career triple-doubles. A triple-double is when you have 10 or more points, 10 or more rebounds, and 10 or more assists, or 10 or more blocks. You just have to have, as the name, 3 categories of 10 or more. And he got to that mark this week, 181. He broke that record, which he has now averaged a triple-double in 4 of his last 5 seasons. And the only person before him to average a triple-double throughout the entire season was Oscar Robertson, and he only did it like twice. So, Russell Westbrook, my problem with Russell Westbrook has never been his play. I always knew that he was great. My problem with Russell Westbrook, and I think that Jeb would tell you the same thing, who I wanted to have on today to talk about this, but fortunately he could not be with us.
Lame.
Yeah. My problem with Russell Westbrook is his amazing stat line. He's a stat sheet stuffer. His stats don't translate.
He's a high school player. Yeah.
His stats, don't translate to wins. And the best evidence of that is the Washington Wizards right now are sitting in the 10 seed, and he's going to average a triple-double this year. The Oklahoma City Thunder, the highest he had them without Kevin Durant, was a 5 seed, and they got bounced in the first round. The only time Russell Westbrook was past the second round was when he was with Kevin Durant, who will go down as a Hall of Famer, and James Harden, before he was James Harden, who will also be so when he was playing with 2 other Hall of Famers, that's the only time he got past the second round. That's really my only problem with Russell Westbrook. Well, that and his clothing choice.
He's having the same problem Kobe had in his final years with the Lakers. He just needs the amount of touches that he needs in order to get the points is the issues that he's running into. So is the issues that that's why I said he's like a high school player, right?
Well, and that in his jump shot has drastically declined every year. Like,
because he's had to go to, he feels like he has to go to the basket. He doesn't just stand there and take shots, which is his problem.
A-Rod is buying the Minnesota Timberwolves for $1.5 billion
with a B.
Well, him and his group that he's buying with.
Mark Lowe, e-commerce mogul, as I see right here. So
just to excuse me, catch everyone up. The Wizards currently are in the 10 seed. They're 32 and 38, so they're qualify
a game and a half behind.
Yeah, they're qualified for the play-in tournament as long as they don't lose like their final like 3 games.
PB stands for clinch playoff players. Yeah, they're not clinched yet. They're still fighting with the Chicago Bulls, basically.
So and it's not like he doesn't have any help in Washington. He's playing with Bradley Beal, who's right now a top 5 scorer in the NBA.
Yeah, but it's not like Bradley Beal. It's not like when Bradley Beal was playing with John Wall, where they complemented each other. It's like what you want is Russell Westbrook on like a Warriors team where he's like a shooting guard that can drive to the rim.
Well, no, not even that.
You want Shaq and Kobe. That's the problem.
You want Russell Westbrook to take 10 shots a game. That's what you want.
Yeah, but he's because if he takes
20. Right, and when he takes 20, his efficiency just.
You want Shaq and Kobe. You don't want. And you can't really do Shaq and Kobe anymore for some reason.
He's had multiple 20-assist game this year, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
But he'll take like 30 shots a game.
Yeah, because he drives to the basket and passes it out. I know exactly how he's getting.
Or he'll drive to the basket and miss layups, and he'll take wild 3-point shots that he shoots like at 20-some%. His jump shot isn't any good.
100%. I would love to know what his efficiency is. Like, that's my question. Good. I wouldn't imagine it is. I'm going to see if I can't get the stat.
Well, or it is, but it's skewed because of how good he is at rebounding and assisting.
Well, that's because he's so big. I mean, when you think of athlete, you think of 2 people in the NBA. You think of he's yoked. When I think of a pure athlete who could do like it all, who could have gone to the NFL, who could have played NHL, maybe not LeBron James, but he could have played any sport he wanted to because they are just an athlete. The answer is
6'3".
Yeah, the answer is Russell Westbrook and LeBron James. Those are people who are they're not one sport athletes.
His PER is 44th in the league.
And that's what is PER, player efficiency rating. Yeah. He's 23. To put it in perspective, his center is 26. He has someone on his team who's more efficient than he is. What's
Bradley Beal, who is on his team.
Oh wait, no, that's Bradley Beal is 23. He's 19.
He's 17. Bradley Beal's 17th in the league.
Yeah. He has.
Bradley Beal needs to get on a contender already.
He really does. I'm trying to just think here. Someone else. Let's just go look at the Brooklyn Nets and the 76ers because it's just the two teams in the East. And they're the contenders. So the stats for the Brooklyn Nets, just to put it in perspective, James Harden's PER is 25.
Yeah.
So his ex-teammate.
And Kevin Durant, since you're on there, look at Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant's 27 and Kyrie Irving's 24.
Joel.
I'm looking for Joel.
Joel
Embiid
Embiid is 31.
Yeah. And
Tobias Harris is 20. And Ben Simmons is 18.
Where the flip is Joker? He plays for the Nuggets, right?
Yep.
And the MVP leader, which I saw some other Eastern European guy says Jokic shouldn't be, which is hilarious. Jokic, is 31. Jokic, sorry.
Is 31.
31.
Right. So he's right behind Joel Embiid.
How many blocks? He is 0.2 blocks a game behind, and he would have every stat in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and
for the
blocks.
Nuggets?
For the Nuggets.
I'm telling you, we covered this about a month ago now, maybe.
Yeah.
Jokic should be the MVP.
I think he's the front runner.
I don't think so anymore. I think it's Joel Embiid now, which I have a problem with because Joel Embiid was out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think it shows that. Yes, I agree, but it's that's the question of the Ben Simmons Rookie of the Year question mark.
I disagree. I also disagreed with the fact that Ben Simmons won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I agree with you.
Right. So, since we're talking about basketball, let's preview the play-in tournament.
Yeah, I have it pulled up here. I'm going to throw it in the chat so you can pull it up too if you want to.
I have it right here, but
wow, that sucks. Okay,
you want to start?
Yeah. So we got in the Western Conference. This is weird. Okay, so there's a play-in tournament. We go to the 10th seed now. Usually it's just 1 through 8, and it's a standard playoff seed standings where 1 plays 8,
2 plays 7,
so on and so forth. 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, and 4 plays 5. Yep. Best of 7. You go to whoever wins best of 7. At the end. So now we're adding 2 teams.
Sort of.
Sorry, we're not adding 2 teams. We're adding. Well, yeah, we're adding 9.
We're basically taking the first 4 format from the NCAA tournament. So basically, we're adding.
Well, kind of.
This is giving 2 teams the chance to make it in.
So yeah, okay. I see what they're doing now. Instead of 7 playing 2, what they're doing is 7 and 8 are now playing each other. Yep. The winner of that game, and you can just go to nba.com/standings. They have a thing there, really easy graphic. The winner of the 7-8 seed
of the 7-8
game goes and plays the 2 seed. They get slotted in at the 7th seed, just like Correct. They would regularly.
You got it.
The loser plays the winner of the 9 and 10 game.
Right.
Okay.
You got it. And then and then whoever wins that
game gets slotted again the 8th seed against the number 1 seed.
There you
go. So whoever loses the 9-10 is automatically out. So 7 and 8 basically it's double elimination for them.
Yep.
9 and 10 single elimination.
So how it works out, you're right. Yeah. How it works out is if you're the 7th or 8th seed, you just have to win 1 time.
Yeah.
To make the playoffs.
Yeah.
9 or 10. If you're 9 or 10, you have to win twice.
Right.
So we talked about last week how LeBron James is being a crybaby about this because he might have to play in it.
He's currently having to play in it.
He's currently having to play in it, but let's preview it. So let's start out West because the West is the most fascinating. So break it down for me. What we got?
You want to start 9-10?
Well, so I want to preface this just real quick. 5, 6, and 7 are all one game apart. So the 5th seed is currently the Portland Trailblazers. The 6th are the Dallas Mavericks. They're both sitting with 29 losses. Then the 7th seed, which is currently LeBron James and the aforementioned LeBron James and the Lakers, have 30 losses.
Right.
So there is a chance that the 7th seed could change, but we're just going to preview it what it is right now because I believe the Lakers will have to be in the play-in tournament with how they're playing right now, unless if the Mavericks, like the Lakers are 5-5 in the last 10, and the Trailblazers and the Mavericks are 9-1 and 8-2 respectively.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's pretty safe to say, maybe with a few juggling, I don't think it's going to be a question of. I don't think 7 through 10 is going to be a question of who they are. It's just where they are in those positions. I don't think anybody's going to creep up into 6.
Right.
I don't think anybody's going to take Dallas. Or Portland.
Right. Right. Okay. So yeah, let's start with 9-10. So 9-10 is currently and probably will end up being San Antonio.
Yep.
And here's the kicker.
Yeah.
It will be either San Antonio.
Right.
Versus Memphis or Golden State.
Okay.
So
let's just go where it is right now.
Okay.
It would be San Antonio.
But I do just want to quick explain. Memphis and Golden State both have 33 losses. It's just Golden State holds the tiebreaker, so they're currently sitting at 8. So again, we're
they've played one more game as well, so they're actually a half game ahead as well.
Okay.
So both of those stats matter.
Yes, both of those stats. So here we go.
Okay, so
Memphis and San Antonio.
Yep.
San Antonio has gone from dominating the late 90s, late 90s, like 98, 99 in the Western Conference, and 2000s to the 2010. When Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich, they had about a 20-year run together.
Yep.
Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all time. Greg Popovich at one time is known as the greatest coach in NBA history.
He's up on the list for sure. He's best basketball coach.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Not even just best NBA
They have
coach.
since Tim Duncan retired, since they lost Kawhi Leonard, they have since fallen from grace, and they have now constantly been somewhere seeding at the end of the year between 7 and 10. Okay? So just a little backstory. Memphis is a rebuilding. Memphis was very hot with Ja Morant last year.
Yep.
They were sitting in the 7th seed.
And they weren't supposed to, sorry, just to interrupt. They weren't supposed to be there last year.
Right.
They're not supposed to be there this year. They're on like a 5-year rebuild. So the fact that Ja Morant was able to spark something.
Right.
And that
Ja Morant's excellent. Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Just putting that out there. Okay.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you for doing that for the listeners. So then COVID happened last year with Memphis, and then in the bubble, they basically lost all the mojo that they had and missed the playoffs. But they were they were on track before the season stopped. So this is basically who has the better player. And the answer is Memphis with Ja Morant. San Antonio has always been more of a team-oriented Now, basketball is a team sport. Yes, obviously. But even with Tim Duncan, you had Tony Parker, you had Manu Ginobili. It was about spreading the ball around.
You knew all their starters' names, even if you weren't a fan, because that's how good they were.
Everybody, they would play good defense. Anybody could score at any given time. They would wind the shot clock all the way down and then score, right?
Yeah.
And they would play great defense.
Yep.
San Antonio's leading scorer this year is DeMar DeRozan, who was traded for Kawhi Leonard when they traded Kawhi Leonard to Toronto.
Yep.
Okay. We've covered the Memphis Grizzlies already, how they're kind of ahead of schedule right now in the 9th seed. Their leading scorer is Ja Morant at 19 points a game. So this comes down to, who do you trust more? Do you trust the team that's ahead of schedule with the more explosive and younger athletes, or do you trust the more veteran DeMar DeRozan, who's been in the league over a decade, and Greg Popovich in a one-game winner-take-all.
Yeah, I think what we see about DeMar DeRozan getting moved to the two
Spurs?
things kind of braced out. Getting moved to the Spurs is, I think he was the reason that they couldn't get over the hump
for sure
in Toronto.
Yep.
I like Memphis just because they have some swagger. In this case, I like Memphis because they have some swagger. They're not making a run. Don't get me wrong. They're one or two pieces away.
Sure.
So they're almost there. So I like I like Memphis specifically just because it is. But I would also be surprised. These are one games, right?
Right. Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it's buzzer beater material sort of deal. But DeMar DeRozan isn't as clutch as like a Ja Morant, I feel like.
So the Memphis Grizzlies currently are in the 9th seed and Spurs are in the 10th. The Grizzlies are 3 games ahead of the Spurs.
Right.
So it's not like it's close.
Right.
Again, we covered the gap. The gap is closer for the Grizzlies and the Warriors.
Right.
Right? Okay. So I'm going to roll with Memphis too. I think they got a great thing going on. I think they're a little bit better balanced. And Ja has the ability to just go off for 40 at any given time. And I think the Spurs still are old.
Yeah, I also want to say here real quick, the Spurs are old. I think they need to blow it up and do rebuild. I wouldn't be surprised if Popovich is going to retire in the next 1 or 2 years. He's getting old. His health isn't the best. His wife died a few years ago, didn't she?
Or she has cancer or
she
something.
Yeah, she very the dude should just go
play with he is in his 70s, so
yeah, the dude should go play with his grandkids, enjoy if he has them. Enjoy life. He's moved basketball along. He's a great leader. Awesome job, Pop.
Right.
Go retire. You're great, okay? No one would be like, "Oh my gosh, he's so selfish." No, go retire. The thing is with the NBA draft, also, I want to say the fact we're talking up Ja Morant is it's a lot. I was thinking about this the other day. It's a lot less predictable than the NFL draft.
Yeah, it's more of a developmental draft.
It's very, very, very hit or miss.
Right.
There are guys like Ben Simmons, like Zion Williamson, who get talked up, and then you're like, why didn't they get talked up? They just were playing really good. Professional basketball and college basketball and high school basketball, very different animals.
The gap between high school basketball and college basketball is closer than the gap between college basketball and the NBA.
You're learning a whole new game. It's like the difference between.
I mean, the same can be said with football too.
Sure, I feel like it's closer because the game is.
Well, and in football, you're more mature when you come in. You're at least 21 years old.
But you watch a college game, and it's totally different than when you watch an NBA game.
For sure.
An NBA game looks like the difference between a McDonald's line cook and a chef, like a professional chef. Like that's, to me, that's what it looks like.
It's the difference in between the Burger King drive-thru in Lidditz and the Chick-fil-A drive-thru in Lidditz.
Yeah. Which isn't in Lidditz, but that's all that you have it. So yeah, I just wanted to let people know the fact that Ja Morant is here and Memphis is a small market team. They only have basketball in Memphis. It's small market team. There's hype. They got a great fan base, and that's why they lost because they didn't have their fan base. They lost all their hype, all their momentum moving in.
Yep.
Last year.
I will note this. So Memphis. This would be a home game for Memphis. Memphis is 16-18 at home.
Yeah.
And the Spurs are 19-16 on the road.
Yeah.
Memphis is also 20-15 on the road, so they would actually.
And here's the thing: is we also can't really mark. Granted, Tennessee is more open than northern states and western states when it comes to fans in attendance. But at the same time, you can't really write home and away records. There's no
that's a good point. But in terms of sleeping habits, you're staying in your bed.
You're
you don't have to say
you have your routine.
Travel.
Yeah.
So I think we're both picking Memphis. Let's go on to 7 and 8. Now again,
sorry. Who's injured?
These both
That's
could
the question.
Wait, who? I mean,
Who's injured? We know that these can be flip-flopped. We know these, but we're breaking down the teams. We'll have Jeb on to do an official one.
Well, it'll be played probably by the time we record next week.
Oh, does he start next week? Yeah,
I told you Tuesday.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. It's a couple minutes ago. I've been working on being the best podcaster possible. Okay,
and you're still
we know
got
that
the sound bites on
suck.
loop.
You know, only the one. Sorry, Mom. Okay, so you can go suck it. Okay, which
Suck what?
I should have a suck it. You know, but
Figured it out.
But that's just me. So
okay, so the Lakers and Golden State. This truly, as you said, is who's hurt.
Right.
So right now, Anthony Davis is hurt and not hurt. He's day to day. Let's look at the Lakers injury report.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at, to put this into perspective, the Golden State Warriors in the last 10 games. I want to put this. The Golden State Warriors in the last 10 games are 7-3.
Yep.
The Lakers are, I said Warriors, right? The Warriors are 7-3. Lakers are 5-5
on a 3-game winning streak.
They're both on. Warriors are on a 4-game. Lakers are on a 3-game. LeBron
Warriors
James
are healthier.
Yes,
and LeBron James is expected to be back, I believe.
Okay, LeBron James does have a playoff mode. We all know it's famous at this point of LeBron James's playoff mode. However, if there is one kryptonite, it is the Golden State Warriors for LeBron James. Especially if he doesn't have Anthony Davis. I don't see them push. If they don't have Anthony Davis, I don't see them pushing even with an injured Clay. But the Warriors have looked red hot as of this month and last month and the past 30 days. Lakers injured. I'm putting my money on I'm putting my money on the Warriors close. Very close. And if it's the last shot, Lakers have a last shot, my money's lost. LeBron James is hitting that shot.
So, yeah, unfortunately, you're wrong here.
Okay.
If LeBron and Anthony Davis play, which I am expecting them to.
Yeah.
Golden State's not winning. LeBron James is not losing.
That's what I said.
The 8th seed.
No, and that's what I said is if he has Anthony Davis, my prediction here is if he does not have Anthony Davis. If he has Anthony Davis, it's going to be close, but it's going to be one of those games that's close. That's not close.
Has played more in the last 2 weeks than LeBron has, so Anthony Davis will be there.
Dude, with load management, with everything, I don't even know how these injury reports work in the NBA more. Everybody's a freaking diva in the NBA. Lakers by 2. Next question. Move on to the East. It's not even.
Well,
shut up.
Can I give my rundown?
No.
Can I give my rundown?
No. We know that you will bend down and kiss LeBron James's feet. We know you're a LeBron James fanboy.
I'm actually
Move
not.
On. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
So then who's winning between Memphis and Golden State? It's Steph, right?
Yeah, I think you have to do Steph there.
But
if he has a good game,
are
or
you
an average
concerned
game.
that because right now at this point, I'm gonna bet. Okay, let me ask you this: in the 7-8 matchup,
yeah,
who has more points, LeBron or Steph?
It'd probably be LeBron, right?
Yeah, it'd be Steph.
Oh, in that matchup, no,
in that
Steph. In that matchup, it'd be Steph. Yeah.
So what? So the only,
and we all know if Steph gets hot, you can't cool him off.
Right.
That's the problem.
So and Steph this year has been incredibly hot.
No one was expecting this from the Golden State Warriors.
So if Steph drops 50, I mean, the Warriors could roll the Lakers. Sure. Lakers have been
especially if they don't have Anthony Davis.
Right. Hot and cold defensively. So I think we're on the same page. Anthony Davis and LeBron play. Lakers are winning a close game.
Yep.
If they don't, Warriors are winning, and Warriors still might win anyway. Memphis and Golden State would play, and we both have the Warriors winning.
I'll allow it.
All right, great. So let's go to the East then.
Yeah.
Where it's 3 of the 4 teams are locked in. Right now, it will be Boston, Charlotte. Again, order to TBD, but this is the order we'll go in. Boston, Charlotte, Indiana, and Washington. Which I'm pretty sure it will be that order just because of how the games stack up.
The East is historically pretty concrete.
The East is
they don't jump around too much.
The East is historically worse than the West. Yes,
that and like their history, like when you're in your seed, you're basically going to be in that seed.
It is
right?
my belief that if
Once
Michael
you hit
Jordan
May and
played in
June.
the Western Conference, he would not have 6 championships.
Ooh, hot take. I like it.
It's not even that hot because it's absolutely correct. He would have had to go through. So I mean, who did you?
So at the beginning of his career, he would have had Magic and Kareem, right? Then he had
Malone and Stockton.
As well as the Twin Towers in Houston were the late 80s too, weren't they? So I don't remember the players' names. I'm sorry.
Then he had he had Charles Barkley was in Phoenix.
Yep.
The Sonics were good.
Yep.
The Trailblazers were good.
Yep.
Like all the stars were out west. Right. So the Jordan, it was kind of like LeBron. LeBron, when he was in the Eastern Conference, it was, when is he going to be challenged? Oh, you got to wait until the finals.
Right. Basically, it was like, oh, okay, LeBron's going to win, especially when he went to Miami.
Right.
It's kind of funny. The 7-8 seed, you flip flop the seeds here from the 7-8 seed in the East looks more like the 9-10, a team that should be doing a lot better than they are, and a team that's really hot because their rookie and their young person is really hot. And their 9-10 seed, it's like, who cares? It's who are you picking in that?
So the Boston Celtics in their last 10 are 3-7
and have the 7-8 seed. Sorry for those listening. And have lost
4 straight. The Charlotte Hornets are 4-6 in their last 10 and have lost 2 straight.
Yeah.
The Indiana Pacers are 5-5 and have won 2 straight. Yeah. And the Washington Wizards are 5-5 and have lost 2 straight.
Yeah. You take the Wizards against the Pacers because they're just not established, right? I feel like that you have Beal and you have Westbrook in that game.
Beal finally gets a postseason shot. Yes, I'm taking Beal and Westbrook. I don't think Westbrook's competitive edge, why, yes, I just said that they don't really translate to wins.
Yeah.
It's sometimes they do. And in this case, a 1-game playoff, they do. Now, these two teams literally just played earlier this week. And Beal had 50. Westbrook had a 30-point triple-double with 20 assists.
Yeah.
And Indiana, Karis LeVert had 30. And Sabonis had a 50-burger as well. Like, they combined for all these points, and it was a high-scoring affair. So I'm going to take Washington. I'm going to take the 10 seed.
Yeah, I think I take Washington, no questions asked. Let me give you, you'll know none of these names, but Let me know if you know any of these names, okay? Leading scorer, Malcolm Brogdon.
Yes, I know him.
Okay. Leading rebounder, Domantas Sabonis.
Yes, he played for Gonzaga.
Yeah. Assists, Sabonis. Steals, TJ McConnell. Blocks, Justin Holiday.
Yeah. I know all of those names.
2 of those guys are white. Let me just put it that way. I don't mean to be racist, but 2 of those guys are white.
Sorry, Mom.
Like it's
just... 2 and 2 of them are right around, like, TJ McConnell's like 5'11", and Justin Holiday is like 6'2".
I'll give it to the Pacers. I'm surprised they're above the 10 seed. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
but they're barely there.
Yeah, the Pacers should not have gotten rid of Victor Oladipo.
That was the worst trade for them.
I'm rolling with Washington. I'm rolling with the superstar. The 2 better superstars.
I don't think it's a question. I think it's them by like 6.
7-8.
This is a very interesting game. Let me lead into this.
Sure.
I'm taking Boston. Okay, it's an interesting game for everything besides the players on the court. First of all, Boston underperforming drastically, 35-35. They should not be. They should not be a 500 team.
Yep.
Okay. Charlotte, extremely overperforming. They were not expecting to be above the 10 seed this year. Okay.
Excellent analyzing right now. I love it.
Also, Boston, Charlotte, you have the scary Terry. You have what's the guy on? Oh, frick, I just forgot his name. Kemba Walker. There's almost like a rivalry of spite for the players against themselves because
against the opposing team.
Against the opposing team, not necessarily against opposing players. I would love to see that translate. I need a little bit of drama in my NBA. There's been no drama in the NBA recently. I want Terry Rozier to go off for 40 this game because
and
screw you.
He has the ability to.
Yeah. And I want to see Kemba Walker just drop bombs. This is why, he's been underperforming.
You want to see cardiac Kemba breaking people's ankles with that step back elbow jumper.
I need a little bit of drama. I want beef. Okay, there's no good beef anywhere to be seen in the sports landscape right now, besides the Rangers and besides hockey. A little bit hockey right now. There's no good beef. I want beef. Okay, I get that I have to cut out beef of my life, but I need to replace it somehow, and we might as well replace it in sports.
So are you aware Jaylen Brown's done for the year?
Okay, cool.
Jaylen Brown's done for the year with for the Celtics. He was their second leading scorer behind Jason Tatum. I have always made the argument he's the better player than Jason Tatum.
He's the second leading scorer.
The more consistent player than Jason Tatum. I'm going to take Charlotte here. LaMelo Ball gives them the energy.
Interesting.
He's gonna bring that big baller brand energy.
Yeah.
He's gonna bring his 19-year-old. Let's get up. Let's get down. I like Terry Rozier to have a more bigger chip on his shoulder and be able to do something about it than Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
The Celtics have underachieved all year, so why not just underachieve one more time?
Yeah.
So then that leaves us with Washington and Boston. Who you got?
Oh yeah. Washington, Boston. Wait, you said you meant this is the losing seed. Washington, Boston. Washington.
This is for the Again, you have two super, and I don't trust Tatum, and I don't trust Kemba, and I think the Celtics get blown up. Brad Stevens is out of a job, unfortunately. Brad Stevens needs to go somewhere honestly, he needs to go somewhere like Charlotte.
Yeah.
Or Indiana with a whole bunch of team first players and no superstars.
Yeah, I mean that's why we did. Where was he at? Butler. That's how he was at Butler, right? That's the thing.
Yep.
So actually, funny enough, I forgot. Gordon Hayward's on the Hornets now.
Yes, he is. But he was on the Celtics before that.
On the Celtics, it was a big signing. He was left at Jazz, went to the Celtics, got injured, and then underperformed.
Yep.
Now he underperformed because, sorry, he underperformed because he had a bunch of talent around him, so he didn't have to perform. Gordon Hayward does better when he has to carry a team.
Gordon Hayward does better when he can be a piece of the puzzle and not the whole puzzle.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It does. It makes total sense. So, yeah, that's I think.
So bet wisely, everyone. Bet the money lines. Don't bet the money lines. I don't care. Do what you want. But we have it. So we have the Lakers, and we have Memphis, and then we have Golden State beating Memphis, and we have Washington, and we have Charlotte, and then we have Washington again.
I think it's going to be, and
then next week we will preview
the playoffs,
the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes,
should be interesting.
Or the first round. Yeah.
They might get it's Tuesday. They might be on in the background for me. I'm not.
For sure. I mean, I'll probably be in bed, but I'm going to keep tabs on it. Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's not like they're not. Again, the sports have just been lackluster in entertainment value.
It's been for drama. Yeah. Sports normally gives you a little bit of drama. It's been, at least basketball have been lacking drama this year. Yeah. The NBA created a social justice award given to the player to, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for?
That's the biggest social justice impact?
Yeah,
probably.
Basically.
It's kind of like the most Walter Payton Award, probably.
That's exactly. Thank you. Okay. So the NBA has always been behind the NFL. I mean, look at it. The NBA,
which is funny because they're supposed to be cooler than the NFL.
Was screaming that COVID's the end of the world, and then the NFL, and they had to play in a bubble and couldn't have any fans, and then the NFL's just like, we're gonna have fans and do it anyway, and did an entire season.
Yeah,
and the NBA has always been about players, and the NFL has always been about the league, and yet the NFL has been more successful, and the NBA has always been hot and cold. And when the NBA don't have a superstar, they've always lacked something, or the guy, I should say, not a superstar, because there are many superstars. The NBA, like, hasn't the NBA had so the Walter Payton Man of the Year is someone who demonstrates, I forget what the terminology is, but they basically go out in the community and they foster
servant leadership. It's basically a servant leadership award.
Exactly. It's a servant leadership in the community to an NFL player.
Whether it's schools or,
right.
you know,
and then you get to wear a patch on your jersey that says,
and you get a
won
nice
this award.
Bronze trophy.
You get a nice bronze trophy. It is known as the most prestigious thank you, award in the NFL.
Yeah.
The NBA, for whatever reason, just didn't have that.
Which is interesting because the NBA has always been, they named it after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for which there's a little, I know enough to be dangerous. He did a lot in the civil rights movement.
Correct.
When he was there. It was a good move by them.
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying why hasn't this been a thing?
You would think, yeah.
Right.
The problem that the NBA, you kind of see it. The problem that the NBA has is the fact that they're more player focused than they are league focused.
League focused, yeah.
And that leads them to be extremely hot and cold because men are malleable, fallible. They will die off.
Fallible.
Whatever that word is. Sorry, Mom. And you just move on. They just move on. And the league, it has to do the shield, and players come and go, and they understand that, and they get hot and cold when we buy their jerseys, and then they get traded. So yeah, good on them. Should have done it sooner. Kind of stupid. Be about the league, less about the players. Move on.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, great. Which young wide receiver, since we kind of talked NFL a little bit there, which young wide receiver quarterback duo will have the best year? Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith.
Hey, look at that. I remembered his name.
Tua.
Before you.
Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
And there's one more. I'm going
to let you figure this out.
It's Tua, Jalen Waddle, and I have no idea. So between those three,
I was trying to think of who are the other young players were. So if you go off of like explosiveness, ability, like highest ceiling, you go Eagles and Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts. I think it's between. It's hard. Okay, all three of those quarterbacks have something to prove. Okay, Tua proves that he's not glass. Hurts proves that it wasn't just because he could move better.
Yep.
Burrow proves that he can stay healthy for a full season.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to find it here. I am paying attention. Continue.
Yeah, no, you're good. The wide receivers, they're all new. They're all rookies, so we don't know what they can have. And like we said last week, the wide receivers are a dime a dozen. They're hit or miss. They could pop off. They could not pop off. So it really depends on what your quarterback looks like, who has the biggest upside. So off of that logic, you have to go Burrow, Jamar Chase, because I think he has the biggest upside. But I think Waddle and Tua have the most to lose. So that could also be the case. So I don't think it's Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. My gut tells me it's Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, just because I think they're the like. So, Joe Burrow could be just as good as. So Joe Burrow could be the next like Tom Brady kind of esque, not really, but yes, if he wants to be next Aaron Rodgers type player, which is a whole nother crap storm that's happening. But yeah.
So the problem with.
Did you find them yet?
I'm looking.
Sure. All right, hold up. Let's go on a tangent here. Who are the young quarterbacks that are in the league? You have Daniel Jones. It's not the Giants.
No.
It's not Carolina.
It's not Tua. No.
Okay. It's not Atlanta. He has Kyle Pitts, and he's not young. It's not New Orleans.
Yep.
Not the Texans or
It's
the
not
Cowboys.
The 49ers.
Yep. Is it Herbert? Did he get a guy in San Diego? No, they got O-line.
Nope, they have Keenan Allen. Yep.
Yep. It's not the Chargers.
Right.
Is it the Colts? They drafted O-line too, I'm pretty sure.
Nope, not the Colts.
Do you just want to look through the first round?
It's fine. It really doesn't matter.
Looking through the first round while you talk.
So I wanted to talk about this because Devontae Smith believes that it's him and Jalen are the best duo. The problem is with that is Jalen Hurts is still, people have lost their minds. Jalen Hurts still has not proven that his ability to consistently throw from the pocket. Jalen Hurts is just the power version of Lamar Jackson. That's all he is. And Lamar Jackson, at this point, is a better thrower than Jalen Hurts. The biggest upside is Jamar Chase, who has the NFL-ready body, and Joe Burrow, who played half the season already.
Yeah.
I think,
Rashad Bateman, by chance, and Rashad Bateman was drafted, so he would be, sorry. And the other one would actually be the New York Giants. They drafted a wide receiver as well. Those would be like your two underdogs kind of deal. Your wild.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's not who you were thinking of, but continue on with what you're saying.
I think the sleeper is Jalen Waddle and Tua.
That's what I said. They have the most to lose.
Right. Well, no, it's not that. They have the most to gain. Jalen Waddle's speed is Tyreek Hill.
No. I think they have. I think what's holding that pair back isn't the wide receiver, it's the quarterback more.
But I don't think Tua got a fair shake at the end of last season.
Sure, I'm not saying that, but Tua's out in 2 years if he doesn't perform.
Right.
I don't think Jalen Hurts or Joe Burrow are out in 2 years if they don't necessarily perform as much.
Right.
I
agree. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase just because I think that they're the most NFL ready. However, I think that I honestly don't think that Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts even enter the conversation. I think Devontae Smith is that good that he might be able to drag along Jalen Hurts. Yeah. But I just think Tua and Waddle, I think, mark it now, May 13th, Tua's going to have an excellent season. And Waddle's going to be a big part of that.
Oh, for sure. I think
Waddle is the type of guy who you say, he's like Tyreek Hill. You say, go run just straight, and he will run past the corner. And as long as Tua puts it on the money, which is what he did in college, it's a touchdown every time.
Yeah, we're assuming that they can, Brian Flores is their coach. He's a new guy, isn't he?
No, he's been there for like 3 years.
I'm just trying to think. This is his second year, 2019.
Yeah. It was another teammate tandem that got hooked up through the draft, and I don't know who it is.
Another teammate? Is it the? Oh, are you thinking of Najee Harris and Trevor Lawrence?
Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence?
Etienne. I'm sorry.
I don't think. I mean, maybe I am. I don't know. I
That's
saw the
other
Instagram thing, and I should have screenshot it and put it in. But
that's fine.
You know me. This, like I said, this is the worstest podcast on the internet.
Yeah, and
all right.
I can take this time to apologize to absolutely nobody.
I'll have to fix that.
He wants.
It's almost funnier faster.
It is almost funnier faster. Almost kind of leave it, but also kind of not.
No, we're not leaving it. It's too funny. Good.
So, as promised, steroids and tennis balls are the exact same. Would you like to hear why?
Is this what you mean? You have in the notes Bob Buffett equals Lance Armstrong's?
Yeah, and then laying in bed last night, I wanted to think about how I wanted to make
steroids
this
and tennis balls. Okay, walk me through this. I'm curious.
Okay, all right.
You've piqued my interest, good sir.
All right. So, thank you. So, you got to give me a little rope here without...
You have a very long leash.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So, first of all, Bob Baffert, who is a trainer, a horse trainer, has trained and has entered many horses in the
He's won the
Derby.
last. He's won the last 4 Kentucky Derbies. His horses,
right, and he's won 7 total Kentucky Derbies, which is most all time. Okay, great.
So he's money.
He's
Straight
an
money.
excellent trainer. His horse, Medina Spirit, Medina
right.
Spirit.
It's that one, yeah.
Got busted for having a past the legal limit of betamethasone, which is a steroid in the body, an anti-inflammatory. Okay, great. So, and of course he's denying it. And then this week, Mom, who has been who has been following this story throughout the week because of the sports fan we turned her into now through this podcast.
Nice.
She sent me that now he's claiming that an ointment.
Yeah.
He didn't know how much excess steroids was in an ointment, and so it shouldn't be counted against him because he has been banned from Churchill Downs, which is where they run the Kentucky Derby.
Okay. Couple things here before you get in. That is this, but just 2, horse people are weird.
Yep.
1, that is the stupidest thing ever.
Yep.
You're going to ban a guy
if you're dating a girl who likes horses, run the other direction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But that is this, you ban them from Churchill. Like, what are, guys,
well,
the only reason people go there is to A, wear hats, and B, drink mint juleps and get sloshed. Okay? That's the only reason people
watch
go
horses.
There.
So, but here's the thing. He's had 5 other horses this year already test positive. Okay. So it's a trend.
But I have a feeling it's kind of like athletic. Everybody's doing it.
It's. I have a feeling. Yes, you are correct. It's like NASCAR. If you ain't trying to cheat, you ain't trying. It's like one of those. Like NASCAR.
Nice.
NASCAR is.
Well, Dick, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
Crew chiefs get suspended all the time for cheating. Cars are marked illegal at the end of every race because they're trying to take shortcuts and cheat all the time. So I have a feeling that's horse racing, but that's besides the point. The big steroid scandals always follow 4 main things.
Yeah.
Okay? They deny.
Yep.
No matter what.
Yep.
They give you a plausible, albeit far-reaching explanation of why, and that's where we're at with
the
Bob
ointment.
Yeah. And Lance Armstrong did the exact same thing.
Roger Clemens, who do you want to put in there?
Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yep. They will then start throwing people under the bus.
Okay, that's
so
next.
They will either say, if I'm going down, you're going down with me, or
trainers,
it was this guy's
equipment
fault.
managers.
Right. You got it. The person who Ryan Braun, it was the person who delivered his drug sample to the drug testing person.
Yep.
And then they will finally admit it. So we are at phase 2
after they retire and made all the money.
Right. We are at phase 2 of phase 4 with Mr. Baffert.
Yeah.
So this is where steroids are like tennis balls.
Okay.
One of our sponsors, Duke.
Yeah.
My dog, Duke, who is our sponsor.
The goodest boy.
Loves tennis balls.
Yeah.
Okay. If I am holding a tennis ball. Oh, he heard me say his name. He came halfway up the stairs and stopped. If I hold a tennis ball out, he will sit. And he will stare at that tennis ball and he will follow me around. As long as I have it in my hand, he will follow me around anywhere. Right?
Yeah.
If I put it in my pocket and show him both my hands just like this on the screen, for those of you watching on YouTube, here, these are my hands. They're quite large.
Oh my
God. He is smart enough to know that I put the ball in my pocket, and just because I'm showing him that I don't have anything, he knows that I still have it. So Bob Baffert can show us his hands.
Yeah.
All he wants. Alex Rodriguez, Lance Armstrong, you name it. Again, you name it. They can show us their hands all they want, but we know that the tennis ball is in their pocket.
Yeah.
Duke will then follow me around, jumping at me, getting all hype, sniffing my pockets frantically, pushing me with his nose, trying to get the tennis.
It became personal with me.
Trying to get the tennis ball. Exactly. It will become personal for him. Okay? So, I'm just asking you, Bob Baffert, as soon as I take the tennis ball out of my pocket and give it to Duke, he will run away and play with it and forget that I tried to lie to him by saying, I don't have the tennis ball.
Yeah.
So Bob Baffert, Alex Rodriguez, who's already done this, Lance Armstrong, who's already done this and has proven, just give us the tennis ball already.
You've made a lot of sense in my life, growing up with you.
Thank you.
That's top 5. That's top 5 sense made and examples you've given.
Thank you. Give us the tennis ball. We'll run off and forget that you were lying to us, even though we knew you were lying to us. And you want a perfect example of this? Alex Rodriguez got caught, lied, did the whole phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, came out, got suspended a whole year, came back, admitted he did steroids, blah, 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 came back, hit 20-some home runs, retired. And then either that year or it was the next year, is now the main analyst on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
Yep.
And does pre and post game for Fox of postseason baseball.
Yep. And don't forget, owns the
Minnesota Timberwolves.
Minnesota Timberwolves, sorry.
We have completely forgotten that forever he was throwing people under the bus saying, I don't have the tennis ball. I don't have the tennis ball. What are you talking about? When we knew it was in his pocket the whole time. Lance Armstrong, throwing people under the bus, doing all this stuff. And now he went on Oprah, he gave us the tennis ball, and now everyone's forgotten about Lance Armstrong until probably this podcast. So you're welcome, Lance Armstrong. So all I'm saying is, let's just skip phase 3, throwing people under the bus, wrecking your career, and let's just confess Churchill Downs will forget about it eventually, or maybe they won't. You'll still train horses who then you'll enter in the Kentucky Derby under another trainer's name.
Yep.
You'll still get a cut of it. And we'll all forget about Bob Baffert, because guess what? You're only relevant 3 times a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you're only relevant on the national sports stage 3 times a year. So, buddy, you're not even... you're basically Lance Armstrong, who was only relevant one
time a year. Yeah, for like a week or whatever.
Because of the Tour de France.
Right.
You're doing better than Clemens and A-Rod. They were on TV every day. So
and they had to go in front of Congress. Just show us the ball.
Show us the ball. Give us the ball, and we'll all be better for it.
I'll be fine.
Okay.
You're still a good trainer, I'm sure. I'm sure it's not because of the...
Well, no, I'm sure that most of it is the steroids, but I
don't know. Well, show us that it's not, Put your money where your mouth is. Also, I would hate to be the guy that has to take a freaking urine sample from a horse.
It's blood work, not...
It is blood? Okay, I wasn't sure if steroids was a pee test or not.
Yeah, no. In humans, it's a pee test and a blood test and some of it anyway. Nice. So whatever. So everyone... give your dogs tennis balls. They will appreciate it. They will love it. They know that you have them. Also, like this video. Subscribe to our channel. We love putting these videos on for you. Listen, I've had a cold this week. I've been dead tired. But guess what? This is... I made a special time. Oh, shout out to Brittany and Paul from my job. They let me leave work before we were truly done with it.
Thank you.
Shoot this podcast. Speaking of, here is the tennis ball lover
here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
That's for, what is it, Brittany and Josh, you said?
Brittany and Paul.
Brittany and Paul, that's for you.
Yes.
You get your very own piss excellence.
Yes. Brittany and Paul, you guys are the best. So thank you very much for letting me do this. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode. This has been the 4th and 1 podcast. As always, wash your hands because y'all are filthy animals. We'll be back next week to preview the NBA playoffs, and hopefully we'll get some drama in the playing games. I, of course, am Micaiah. That, of course, is Simeon. Duke, of course, is our sponsor. Peace out. God bless. Take it easy.